Hey there, motorcycle and power sports news. This is Jackie Van Ham, and this bike is your ride of the week. Drew, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us through this excellent bike. I'm not gonna lie, I did creep you and track you down on the Instagrams, and I saw this wicked chopper, this excellent paint, and I knew I wanted to talk to you about it. Can you talk us through this beautiful bike a little bit?
Absolutely. So it started its life out as a 1976 FX. I went and got it for a buddy of mine, and he told me to do whatever I wanted. So he comes in the next day, and literally nothing is left of the bike. It's just motor sitting there. I completely made the whole frame. There's an open clutch, open primary, but I shaved the clutch basket. I actually painted it just to do something different. I did an old 60s and 70s style teardropping on the frame. So all this, there's nothing different. All the edges on all the frames are different, just so nothing is straight on the bike. Everything is supposed to be crooked. Everything's supposed to be off. The gas tank sits a little to the left just because why not? And I hung the carburetor off the wrong side. A lot of people don't even catch that the carb is on the wrong side. So
right.
Another little cool trick we did to shorten it was we cut the carb in half, and then it's actually threaded. So you don't have to take anything off to take the carb off. You just unscrew it and you have the carb in hand. So it's kind of a cool little trick.
So what was your decision, first of all, of like, and you're right, it took me a minute to realize it, but nothing is really lined up exactly perfect.
Right.
What was the intention behind that? Or
So
you just...
no, it was just one of the, I wanted to do something that people had to stare at it to figure out. And attention is usually in the details, obviously. So with that being said, I was like, okay, let's see how many people will notice that nothing is straight, nothing is lined up perfect, and it's not off a lot to where you walk by and go, oh look, I can't mount a tank. No, it's like just a hair to be like, you gotta stop and look. And key features and all the stainless, all the gold here is actually heat treated stainless I did in-house.
With just a torch or something?
Just a torch, yeah.
Okay.
And just turned it gold, and I was like, oh, that's a cool color. Stick with it and ran with it.
The carburetor being mounted on the wrong side of this bike?
On the left side, yes.
On the left side versus the right. Did you have to rotate?
No, so what I had to do, honestly, was I had to reclock the carb so it sat up when you're riding so it fuels properly. And the other thing I had to do, I had to cock it up so when it's on its kickstand, I can kickstart it. So that way fuel actually goes in it and not out of it. So it was a learning curve. I learned that when I tried starting it for the first time. Like, oh, gas is on the ground. That should be in the bike.
You're like, that's not where gas goes.
Yeah, that's nowhere for that to be.
So it's just so interesting. And again, all these little details are super, super trick. The paint's fantastic. Did you do the paint?
No, I did not. So my painter that makes me always looks amazing is he goes by, nobody knows I'm a shithead on Instagram. His real name is Chris, but that's his actual business name. And he honestly, every bike he does for me, he's the only one I let paint for me, and he absolutely knocks every bike out of the park for me. And he's a good personal friend, so we kind of build the same style of stuff, and he knows what I do. So I give him colors usually, and that's what I get back. So
it's really, really excellent. And again, there's just all these like odd little lines that are just kind of to one side or the other throughout the entire bike. Throughout the seat, you see all these really fascinating lines. The exhaust on this is really cool too. I love the two pipes. I love the fishtail. Very, very neat. Can you talk us through what kind of engine work or anything is going on?
So the motor's been completely stripped down all the way. It is a 76 lower, true to the form, but I went ahead and made it a 63 pan to the top of it. It was always taboo to do the shovel lower and the pan top. Well, I went ahead and gave you the reliability of the nose cone with the cool look of the pan head. So it's a way to get all of it put together. Yeah,
I have to admit, when you said 76, and then I'm looking at this, and I'm like, this is not 1976,
no,
friend.
No, so it's kind of one of my signatures is I do a shovel lower with a pan top.
Okay.
So it's just more reliable.
Really?
And a lot of people don't know how to actually operate like the mechanics of a pan. This is real simple. You know, simplify it for the customer for the most part.
Right on.
And you still get the cool shovel sound, by the way.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Even cooler. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a little bit of this. Now, I don't want to say mismatched tops and bottoms, but I am seeing a little bit of like earlier match to later or vice versa.
Correct.
I think it's a really interesting moment that's happening in custom bike building. And you're right, I never even thought about that it would give this different reliability by having the stronger bottom end belonging to a later bike being part of your custom build. Really, really fascinating. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk us through this excellent bike. And this is your Ride of the Week.